I've not seen such bravery.
Hello everybody, I am a winner. Now I know that thought may seem a little out of the blue or perhaps even a little bit conceited, but I just wanted to let you all know that no matter what the evidence may suggest, I am in fact a winner. So when you look at the scoreboard and see that I'm currently 0-2 against trail games on this show, don't look at me as a loser, look at me as a champion waiting to make their epic comeback. A comeback that starts today. The Yukon Trail from MECC, the makers of the Oregon Trail, was released in 1994 for Windows 3.1 and System 7 Mac computers. By now, I'm sure you get the gist. It's a trail game, which means we're trying to make it from point A to point B without dying in some horrible way. This game is based around the Klondike Gold Rush, which means that not only do we need to reach our destination alive, but we also need to get there quickly if we want to get there while there's still gold to be unearthed. The game begins with a bit of a history lesson as the broad strokes of the gold rush are laid out for us. Gold is discovered in northwest Canada, people want the gold, people go get the gold. You'll notice almost immediately a disturbing lack of FMV. Perhaps that's only disturbing to me, but I definitely prefer this.
Be careful going into this river.
To this.
Yep, I've been prospecting all my life, and I never seen nothing like it.
This guy he creeps me out. Our journey begins in Seattle, where we're trying to decide on the best way to obtain our fortune in gold. Do we want to travel to Dyea, the gateway to the Yukon?
Remember, Dyea's the place to be.
Or Skagway. Dyea is a shorter but more difficult journey, while Skagway is a weird and kind of gross-sounding name for a place. We'll decide that a bit later, though, because before we're even allowed to buy a ticket to board the ship, we have to get a partner. In fact, everyone in Seattle seems to be obsessed with the fact that I'm currently going solo.
I would say the most important thing is to find yourself a good partner.
You should get yourself a partner.
I noticed that you don't have a partner.
Normally I'd be upset that all of these people are trying to take away my God-given right to go die alone searching for gold, but given that I've yet to survive a trail game on this show, I think that having some extra help might be a good thing. There are 4 partners to choose from, and no matter how much I wish they were actual people instead of pixel art, we've got to narrow it down and pick one.
Folks call me Sadie. You look like you could use a partner. One who knows a thing or two about gold mining.
I've devised a little test for our prospective partners to sniff out the best candidate. I'm gonna tell them all that I was planning on making the trip myself, and I'm going to judge them completely as a person based on their response to this single question.
You ever done any gold mining? I didn't think so. It's lonely, backbreaking work. You wouldn't last a week without a partner.
Wow, Sadie, if I wanted to go gold mining with someone who didn't believe in me, I'd just bring my self-consciousness along. But as you can tell by my confident intro to this video, I've checked that at the door. I am a winner. Next.
Life in the north is much different from what you are used to. Without me to guide you, your feet will become very sore.
You know what's a big pet peeve of mine? Strangers talking to me like they know my feet. Like, you don't know my feet. I'm barefoot so little that I barely know my feet. So just don't come up to me and talk to me like you know my feet. This joke got away from me a little bit, but I'm keeping it in anyway. Next.
From what I hear, life in the Yukon's a lot easier if you've got someone to share the chores and the expenses.
Now that's more like it, Jake. Not that it was hard to do, but you're now my #1 pick. You're gonna split chores and help pay for things, and you've also got a trustworthy mustache. A trust stash, if you will. The opposite of which can be found here.
Yes, that was my original plan as well. However, several people have advised me that it would be unwise to travel alone in the Yukon. Something about inclement weather, I gather.
Well, that's not a bad answer, actually, but why should I choose you?
I am a well-to-do businessman, and I am willing to share my money with you.
Well, pack it up, everybody. We have a winner. He may not look like the best person when it comes to traveling long distances, but I figure that if we end up dying on the way to dig up some gold, at least we'll be doing it with a bunch of money. We're gonna take the trip to Dyea, because not only is it the place to be, but Skagway sounds like a segue for scabs, and that's just, well, I'll pass. We're also getting the most expensive ticket, because I'm worth it, and also Midas just gave us all of his money, so why not? That's also the reason I picked up this trail bicycle before boarding the boat.
It's a long haul from Skagway or Dyea to the Klondike Goldfields. It might take you 3 or 4 weeks to get there on foot, but on a bicycle you can get there in just a few days.
I have a feeling it won't be very useful, but it's basically a free bike for me, and Midas doesn't exactly seem to mind.
Yes, I am outspoken in my support. Let's buy it.
And so we begin our journey. We're like the three musketeers, me, Midas, and the third musketeer is our trusty steed, the trail bike.
Say, wanna hear something funny? The captain and I were checking on the cargo, and we found a bicycle. We practically split a gut laughing, just imagining someone trying to ride that contraption over the mountains. Then we tossed it overboard.
We already lost my favorite member of our party. I mean, no offense, Moneybags, but you're no trail bike. She was one of a kind. So this is the first leg of our journey. We pretty much just sit here and watch the ship sail, and occasionally some facts pop up, and, well, that's about it. Not super exciting. I don't think I'm actually able to do anything here. Welcome to Dai, home of, I don't know, home of this guy, I guess. Gold Dust Charlie. He managed to score $20,000 in gold, and he's headed off to celebrate in style, which probably means someone is going to throw all that gold off of a boat or something ridiculous like that. The only reason I mention him at all is because he points us towards where he found his fortune, which might be important if we actually survive long enough to dig for gold. At the arcade, we're able to test our shooting skills, which is hopefully a warm-up for some hunting I'm assuming we'll be doing later on. This shooting game is definitely a scam, though, designed to make easy money off gold seekers. You have to get exactly 1,000 points to win, and the prize is being told the best place to dig for gold. Like I believe that. Still, I can't pass up the chance to shoot at some things, and after hitting exactly 1,000 points with 4 bullets to spare, I happily listened to her tell me where to dig so I could ignore her completely later on. Dai is where we're going to stock up on supplies for our journey and available to purchase our outfits, which include cooking supplies, mining supplies, cold weather clothing, a sled and a supply of food, an individual sled, and a whipsaw. Lucky for us, we're able to talk to our piggy bank, gold hunting partner, to see what we should spend our money on.
I hate the idea of hauling around a lot of heavy supplies. I think we should wait. We shall be able to afford the higher prices in Alaska.
You know, I like the way you think. Laziness is the best path to success after all, so no supplies for us. All right, let's hit the trail, partner, and we're off, ready to strike it rich and...
Partner, this is indeed a sad day. Our supply of food is not enough to get us to Dawson City. This is the end of the trail for us.
Okay, well, it sounds like somebody should have just let me buy the outfit if food was that important to him.
I think we should wait.
I have to start all the way at the beginning, which is fine. I didn't really lose that much time. The big issue here is that we didn't die. How come we didn't just keep walking and eventually starve to death? Does that not happen in this game? We just call it quits and game over? That's not exciting. Anyway, I'm sticking with Moneybags here along with the same ship. I'm skipping on the trail bike though because the one true trail bike is already dead. Everything seems to go pretty well until the captain, probably enraged that there weren't any innocent bikes to throw overboard, sails the ship directly into a rock.
We grazed that outcropping of rocks. We appear to have been fortuitous, however. There was no damage to our vessel.
Oh, thank goodness nothing terrible happened. I was worried there for a second that something interesting was going on. The captain continues to blindly slam the ship into various things, and I'm not really sure why. Literally, the only thing I did different was not buying the trail bike.
We have arrived in Dai.
Yep, that sure looks like Dai to me. This time we're gonna pick up an outfit, as well as an extra sled, before we hit the trail. Hopefully we're gonna be able to take more than a few steps before we have to stop for something.
Travel in this weather is next to impossible. It could be dangerous. Shall we wait a day or two and hope for better weather?
Are you kidding? What weather? Where? Where is this mystical weather, dude? You're staring at the inside of a tent. This boring screen is, well, boring. Every now and again, Moneybags chimes in with some type of problem, but that seems to be about it.
Some of our food has been stolen. There seems to be no respect for personal property.
Well, I guess we should keep a better eye on our food then. I mean, there's 2 of us. It should be easy to see if anyone else is rummaging around in our supplies.
Some of our food has been stolen.
Okay, what did I just say? Let's keep an eye on...
I fell down and hurt my leg. I need to stop and take care of it.
You know, I'm seriously beginning to regret my choice of partner in this little adventure. Despite the quote-unquote setbacks, which I'm starting to think are simply whiny excuses by our wealthy traveling partner who doesn't want to walk too much and is also eating all of our food, we finally make it to sheep camp. Here we're able to buy food, which I buy 400 pounds of since apparently we can't seem to keep an eye on it, and a whipsaw, which I decide to pass on for now. We can also bet on a sled race, but I have a feeling it's a scam, so I'm just gonna pass on it. We're allowed to watch it anyway though, and unfortunately a sled race between strangers sounds more exciting than almost anything else we've done so far, so we might as well. Alright, I stand corrected. Let's get out of here.
Should we continue on the trail now?
Yes, I said let's get out of here.
I fell down and hurt my leg. I need to stop and take care of it.
Welcome to Canada.
Oh, well, don't sound too excited about it. We finally made it to Canada, but guess what? We can't get in. We need 1,000 pounds of food each to cross the border, which means we have to go all the way back to sheep camp. Somehow I managed to sprain my ankle, or at least that's what I'm told.
Oh dear. It looks like you have sprained your ankle.
I really wish they gave you a bit more detail, honestly. Like, oh dear, it looks like you sprained your ankle while wrestling that wild Canadian bear creature. Canada has bears, right? After loading up on food, it's an easy walk back to the border. We do, of course, have to stop once because of poor weather, once because a group in front of us refused to move, make that twice for poor weather, and twice because of rock slides, none of which are interesting. Also, we could be enthusiastically greeted with,
Welcome to Canada.
and now that we've finally passed through customs, we're greeted with another map to travel across. I really wish there was something else for me to do besides wait for Moneybags to update me on setbacks. I've got so much food I don't have to hunt, and as far as I can tell, there's really nothing more I can do but wait. The trip to the lake isn't without setbacks, that's for sure. One blocked trail, our food gets stolen again, and 3 leg injuries. Like, how do we even still have legs at this point? At Lake Bennett, we have to build a boat, and since we neglected to buy a whipsaw, we have to trade some food for it. Apparently, our friend's wealth wasn't as great as I thought it was because we're out of cash. I figure people are stealing our food all of the time anyway, so at least with this trade, we actually get something out of it. After choosing which boat to build, even though there's no information given about any of the plans, we have to wait 4 days, and then it's time for the only really interesting part of the game. Interesting may be a strong word. We have to navigate our ship through the rapids, and at the very least, it feels like I'm finally doing something. Not that I'm any good at it. There are a few more rapid sections, all of which I managed to flip the boat in, though I gotta say there doesn't really feel like there was any consequence for it. I just keep moving along as usual.
Oh, glorious day! We have arrived in Dawson.
And now that we're at Dawson, it's time to stake our claim. I'm gonna try and get close to where our good friend Gold Dust, dumb idiot face, I don't remember his name, told us to dig. And what do you know? We struck gold. I feel nothing. We struck it rich and got $41,000? Points? I have no idea what this number is supposed to mean. Now all that's left to do is do it all over again. This was not fun. As much as I'd love to brag about how great I am at it and how I finally beat a trail game on the show, I don't really feel like I did anything. My choices didn't really seem to have consequences. I just basically coasted my way through this one. Let's recap here. On my successful playthrough of the game, I chose a partner and bought a boat ticket, then I bought some supplies. Then for a while, the only other thing I did was choose between resting or continuing through leg injuries. And I always rested because just because it's the gold rush doesn't mean we need to be in a rush. Okay, well, maybe that's kind of what it means, but I rested anyway. I bought more food, I picked what kind of boat to build, and I very unsuccessfully navigated said boat through some rapids. Then I chose a plot of land that the game straight up told me to choose, and I won. And that last part is even less exciting than it sounds, because according to Wikipedia, if you stake a claim at Chichaco Hill, which is always available, you'll always get rich. The Yukon Trail was a bit of a letdown. At best, it's a watered down game, with the main advantage being that it's short and easy enough for students to finish during a single trip to the computer lab. I'm pretty sure the idea is that you're trying to get to Dawson as fast as you can to get a higher score. I mean, the game is incredibly short. I had to backtrack to get food, and it still only took me 28 minutes to beat the game. All this to say that while it sounds like this game shouldn't count, it does. Because I'm in charge, I make the rules, and I want to win, so put it on the scoreboard. What do you want to bet I don't even reference the scoreboard if I do another one of these videos? I probably won't. Hey, thanks for watching. If you liked what you saw, be sure to subscribe. And if you're a fan of streams, you should check out my Twitch page where I've started streaming regularly. I hang out, play games, talk about stuff, mostly food. It's a good time. And if you've got the craving for even more gaming content, you should check out the Chibi Robo video my friends over at Continue made. They're funny, it's funny, maybe you'll be funny if you watch it. There's only one way to know for sure.
I fell down and hurt my leg.